Hello everyone, Doc Testosterone here. Today's video I actually want to talk about how society has in place certain rules, certain guidelines to weed out the weak genes in human beings and to keep those strong genes. Now let me give you a practical example just to start off. When I was a kid and I wanted a girlfriend, and there were even girls who were writing me love letters. They wanted to, hold my hand and kiss me in my early years of high school. My mom would rip those love letters and threaten me and tell me that I cannot have a girlfriend, that my mom is the only girl in my life. Okay? So these were the types of threats that my mom gave me as a child, and I was in line with those threats, right? So I listened to my mom, I obeyed her, I obeyed both of my parents pretty much my entire life, and that is why I'm fucked up right now. Look, parents, society, any part of your environment has these kind of, call them principles or these strategies to weed out those weak motherfuckers out there. So for example, take a look at me versus my brother, right? So I listened to my parents. I didn't get the girlfriend. I stayed a virgin for many, many, many years and focused on my academics, focused on my work. But my brother, he said, fuck you parents, and he did whatever the fuck he wanted. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's not because he's worse than me or better than me. It's not that. It's that society has in place this strategy where if you don't rebel against your parents, then you're a weak motherfucker. If you do rebel against your parents and your rebellion is actually biological and physiological. Now, if you rebel against your parents and you jump off a bridge and they're telling you not to jump off a bridge and you die, that is not physiological, that is not biological. But if your parents are telling you not to have sexual intercourse when you're 13, 14 years old, and they're telling you to just focus on your studies, but your testosterone is high enough, your hormonal power, your sexual energy in your body, if it's high enough to rebel against your parents, then your genes, those specific genes that are strong, deserve to move on in the human gene pool. Otherwise, they don't deserve to move on, and you should be weeded out of existence. Now, me, for instance, I am one of those weak people. At least I was. My testosterone was not high enough to rebel against my parents. I did not have enough sex drive, my health, my sexual health wasn't high enough. That drive, that animal aggressive fucking nature was not high enough to rebel against my parents. And you know what I did? I studied and I got good grades. And you know what? That was my comfort zone. So if I would have said, fuck you parents, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want, which I've actually done recently, and now we're cool again. But I did do that for years with my parents to get my life back on track and compensate for all that sexual repression that I've had. Now, society has these strategies in place because think about it. If your genes aren't tested to figure out how powerful they are, then why should they advance in the gene pool? They shouldn't. Okay? Now, us human beings are still alive. Our species is still intact because we have strong genes. Your ancestors, if you're watching this video and you're alive, your ancestors did pretty good. That's why your genes are still here. And that's why their genes are still here. Okay? So that is a strategy that I want you to keep in mind. Now, there are other strategies. When you're a kid, you might get bullied at school. You might even get bullied by your brothers and sisters. I have a friend in Montreal, his brother bullies the shit out of him, and he's always talking to me about, or at least he used to talk to me. Now I've blocked him because he's one of my poisonous friends. I actually have a video about toxic people you should really check out. And you know what? I defriended and blocked a person last night because he was a really, really toxic person, and I don't have time for that in my life because I am trying to progress and create something great for myself and for those around me. So his brother ridiculed him, still ridicules him, I'm sure, makes fun of him in front of relatives, makes him feel like a fucking asshole, right? Now, my friend is a fucktard because his genes aren't strong enough, those specific genes of aggression aren't strong enough to fight back. He gets butthurt. And you know what? His genes should not move on. But even weak people like that, their genes will move on because it is not hard to get a baby made in the world today. If you have erectile dysfunction, if you have some problems with your sexual health, you have some problems with getting girlfriends and so on, it doesn't matter. All you got to do is donate your sperm, as long as your sperm is amazing, and you will have a child and your genes will move on. Now, if you want to be a father, you want to take care of the kid, that's a completely different story. We'll save that for another video, some sperm wars shit. By the way, check out Sperm Wars by Robin Baker. It's a sick book. It's one of my top 5 books of all time. So this is another strategy, right? A brother making fun of you, a sister making fun of you. Then you're going to have bullies at school that make fun of you. So if you are strong enough, if your genes are strong enough, then you will be able to attack, you will be able to rebel against the world and prove to yourself and those around you that your genes are strong enough to move on and propagate to future generations. So, bottom line of this video is you need to rebel because your parents, society, friends, they're not your enemies. They're actually doing you a favor because the strongest genes should move forward. So if you got weak fucking genes, then you should not move on. And so your dad, your mom, your sisters, they're actually doing you a favor. They're doing all of us a favor. So if you do have weak genes, then your environment, your nurture, the training that you do to your brain better be damn fucking good. Okay? So look at me for example. My genes fucking suck. Okay? I didn't rebel shit. I was a fucking beta male. But then I had to change my life. I had to immerse myself in different activities just to get over that hump. Okay? Be it girls-wise, sex-wise, physical fitness-wise, just aggression-wise. I used to go from car to car and look for tickets that cops gave, and I would take those tickets and throw it in the trash can. I'm such a dick because I wanted to train my brain to be an asshole. I wanted to train my brain to be a dick because I was such a nice guy, and I know that if you train your brain, then you will be able to compensate for all the fuck-ups that have happened in your life. I didn't say the word fuck. I'm sorry, I've said the word fuck so many times in this video. Actually, I'm not fucking sorry. But I did not say the word fuck until I was 28 years old. I'm almost 34 now. And the first time I said fuck, it was so weird. I had to sit in a room and say fuck 100 times. I was like fuck, 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 fuck 100 times because I read that people who use profanity have more power over their environments, and they are more powerful people in the world, and they make shit happen. And look around you. Look at the people who say fuck. Look how well they're doing. Anyway, so just my rant here about shit that's happened in my life. You know, just trying to stay humble, trying to express my feelings to you so you can learn and you can get better as well. If you believe that something is happening to you, people are doing something to you which is against your biology, against your physiology, against your physics, fuck them, rebel like a champion. And I will see you next time.